Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Joe White from Get Life Coaching, and welcome to another edition of Live Free. You know, a question I get very, very often is, how'd you change your life? And they know about the story, they know about the drug addiction, know about the infomercial, but what'd you do in between all that? And it's really quite simple, because it's a success formula that not only you can duplicate, that really is within all of us. And there's a few major steps. Number one is you got to jump in. See, that's what I did immediately from the beginning when I bought those tapes, and later on when I went to seminars and got different types of training. Was when I jumped in. You got to immerse yourself. Think about this. You got all this momentum going this way, and all this weight on the scale, and you got to turn it around. And to do that, you can't dabble. It is too many things against you. There's your old identity. It's what your old associations, pain and pleasure, your emotional needs, all that getting pulled in the old vehicle. It's habit, it's conditioning, it's social conditioning. It's all these things that have kind of isolated you, and gravity is like a gravitational pull that wants to keep you where you're at. And you try and change it. And you try and do one thing different. That's like being 100 pounds overweight and says, you know what? I'm going to get a Diet Coke with my Happy Meal. Okay, it's not just too much, too little against too much. So if you're really committed to something, you got to jump in. You got to make it a must. If you don't, then you're just dabbling. And as soon as you hit resistance, as soon as you hit a stumbling block, you're going to pull back. You're going to quit. You can go back to what you know. Not because ultimately what you want isn't important to you. It's just more important that you stay comfortable. So step one, immerse yourself into it. Read books, come to the seminars, get a coach, get an accountability partner or mastermind. Listen to audiobooks on tapes. Read, take in anything you can. And then you'll see truly a change begin to happen if you do the second step. And that is you got to condition yourself. You know, I've talked to you before about incantations and vision statements, and we've talked about I ams. And if you ever come to one of our NLP classes, we can teach you about conditioning of anchoring and exercise like Ring of Fire and using imagery to help anchor in or speed up the process. But at the end of the day, see, we must find a way to condition ourselves for success. Because if we don't condition ourselves for success, we're going to continue to condition ourselves to be unsuccessful. In other terms, if we don't condition ourselves to be who we want to be, we're conditioning ourselves to be the person that we've always been, or the person that we're going to maintain. And again, this is not sabotage, it's mechanics. Our brain, our nervous system doesn't know the difference between when we do something that's going to make us grow and expand, or to do something that's going to hold us back and limit us. It just does whatever. It's like a computer, whatever you put into it. So there's no difference of saying, no, all I need is within me now. All I need is within me now. Just saying, I'm stupid, I'm a loser, I'm no good. Whatever you do with the most repetition, you're going to end up consistently doing, consistently experiencing, and consistently creating in your life. So you got to find a way. You got to use these tools. You got to do something to condition yourself. And I think that's the big step. And one of the biggest steps within that is a thing we call state management. And we've talked about that too. State management is your ability to manage your emotional state. And it doesn't mean always be happy. I'm not into that. It doesn't mean to always be, oh yes, life is so great. Sometimes life is hard. Sometimes life stinks. But see, the key is to know how to turn yourself on to the right emotional state, which is appropriate for the context that you're trying to get through. Hey, if you're trying to feel sorry for yourself, go ahead. I'm saying it, go ahead. Okay, as long as it's not harming you or harming anyone else, but put a time limit on it. But then there's times to step up. There's times to take those challenges and step into that uncertainty and say, you know what, this is getting done now. And in those moments, you cannot be fearful. You cannot be in a state of doubt. You cannot be in a state of uncertainty. They cannot be the driving force. You got to learn how to condition yourself so that you're able to go there to access those resources within you. I did an exercise with a client, and we're writing out her core beliefs, and she had it for homework. She had none. Maybe she had 2 or 3, and they were weak at best. And she goes, I just don't think I have any. I said, no, let me show you. And I took her through a little technique called Ring of Fire, an NLP technique that we teach. And all of a sudden, she got like 2 pages of it. She kept writing and writing and writing because I was able to get her in the right state. And she said, you know what, Joe, I tried this on my own. Not what you did, but some other ways. And did it work? She goes, yeah. And so I started doubting myself. Because that changed her state. And we can talk more about what is an emotional state, but we gotta do something. You gotta do some incantations. You gotta put good stuff in. So here's the 3 rules, real simple. And with this, 3 rules to mastering state management. How about that? Step number 1, you gotta identify what state that you need to be in. Okay, you gotta identify what state you need to be in. So you got to look at your situation and say, you know what? I need to be confident. I need to be strong. I need to be empathetic. I need to be courageous. I need to be curious, whatever it is. Step 2 is identify your state that you're currently in, because it's coming there for a reason. So you want to identify, at least you get a glimpse to when it's over, to go back and go, I wonder what's causing that. I wonder why every time I get all these things happening in my life, I'm going to frustration and I'm shutting down. Or every time I'm about to get close to one, I pull back. Because you have to work on that, what's driving that. But right now, we're just talking about the patterns. And then the third one is do something. Oversimplifications always work. Do something to make yourself go into state 1. Know your triggers. Whether it's a power move, or it's incantation, or it's a vision statement, or it's a reading, or it's praying or meditation. Have a whole toolbox. And if you're ever interested in learning more, you know what? An offer available no matter wherever you're watching is a complimentary coaching session with me or one of my coaches. So you can always say, hey, I want to work on this, and we'll do that for you. If you want to continue, we can talk out. If you just want to take that and use it and grow, we love that too. But you got to begin to take control of this thing. Your brain, your nervous system, your body, your emotions, what you think, what you feel. Because so many times we get it wrong. When you show up in a situation, we say the wrong thing, behave the wrong way, do the wrong thing. And it's not because we're sabotaging again. It's because that is the pattern that we're conditioned to do. It's Ivan Pavlov. It's that stimulus and response. Okay, when that stimulus comes up, without checking in, we run that response. We talked about that extensively our last Breaking Through the Barrier. Every time a guy got caught up and got close to someone, he ran. And he didn't want to run, but you know what? That's how he was programmed. That's how he was conditioned. So you got to take control of that. So again, real quick recap. Number 1, manage your emotional state. Learn tools, okay? Use incantations. Read. Do whatever it takes. And that's the second, actually, we're kind of going back up this. That was really number 2. Number 1 is if you're going to do it, step into it. Don't dabble. Don't test the waters. You've been testing the waters in your life for too long. Step in. Step up. And be that person. So until next time, I'm Joe White from Get Life Coaching, thanking you